like just like the Twitch link or something,
Mm-hmm.
or YouTube or something. Alrighty, one last sip. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Before we get started with this week's episode, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to NordVPN. You can use it to browse the internet privately, safely, and securely. It allows you to unblock all sorts of things, such as streaming services in other countries. If you use our affiliate link, it should be, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the link in the bio, or if you're on Spotify, it's anywhere on our website, you can find it. But use our affiliate link, sign up with NordVPN, and you'll get a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. And you'll save up to 70% on a $350 a month for a 3-year plan. You can connect up to 6 devices. It's available on whatever platform you want, iOS, Windows, Android, you name it. I use it myself, so I recommend using NordVPN. Just sign up with that affiliate link in our bio. All right. And action. What's up, everybody? It is August 18th. It is another week, another Wednesday, live on Twitch, live on YouTube, or if you're listening to the recorded version, that's on you. But alas, we are back with another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bonnell, and alongside me is Elijah Span. Make sure you guys check out our website where you can find all of our content, www.gtdsports.com. Follow us on our social medias. You can see them there at the bottom of the screen at GTD_sports, on almost everything other than TikTok. We are at gtdsports.com. If you want to follow along with our personal accounts, I am at Ryan Bonnell 8 on Twitter, and Elijah is at Elijah Span 19. That's Span with 2 N's. And if you want to follow along with our gambling picks, follow us on the Action Network app. You can search us just by our full name there and keep up with all of our picks. Things are ramping up as we get close to football season. I know I'm betting a lot more. Elijah's going to be betting a lot more. It's going to be some good stuff. We're back, baby. But yeah, we got a great episode planned for today. We got a special guest there, Elijah's dog, making an appearance.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, we have a great episode planned. We're going to be talking about Tim Tebow, sadly being released by the Jags. Not our boy Timmy. NFL's new taunting rules, which are just absolute bullshit. NHL is now allowing advertisements on jerseys. And last but not least, we're going to be doing toxic fan base tier list. This is going to be something we've never done before, ranking worst to best where NFL fan bases lie. And if this is something you guys like or we really just enjoy doing, we're probably going to continue that on in future podcast episodes. And that, I think that's that. So Elijah, with that said, we'll start this like any other week. What is your highlight of the week?
Highlight of the week. I guess I've been playing Hades on Xbox Game Pass, and it's sick. It's like a top-down like fighting game. I don't know.
Hades?
Yeah, it's called Hades. It got like Game of the Year last year. I don't know. Got it for free on Xbox Game Pass. It's sick. I've had a lot of gaming-related highlight lowlights recently.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like the gaming season, I feel like, you know?
Summer's kind of coming to a close. It's kind of,
yeah, exactly.
Indoors more, so, yeah.
Well, yeah, plus all the sports games are coming out and everything.
All the sports games are coming out. So, thankfully, I didn't actually pre-order Madden, and I got to play a demo of it, and it, was the same thing as Madden 20. And
really?
Oh, yeah. So it's the same one from 2 years ago, and Madden 20 was basically the same thing as Madden 18. I'm just like, dude, how do they – I get that sports games are usually going to be the same thing every year, but how do you do it to the extent that Madden does it? It's just –
yeah, well, I heard there was supposed to be a lot of updates and stuff to this year's, but I've even heard that there's a difference between the old consoles and the new console. Like, if you play it on PS4 or something, then the quality is just going to be the exact same as last year's. But if you play it on the PS5, then it's supposed to be exponentially better. So really? I don't really know. I haven't played it yet. I didn't play the demo either.
I'm too poor to get those nice consoles. So.
Oh, dude, I have never seen a PS5 with my eyes. I've never heard of them being in stock to this day. I still never see them. Maybe it's just because I've given up on trying. I got a gaming PC instead. Mac in the background.
Oh my god, I know. He decided to start having to be excited right now as soon as we started to hit the record button. But whatever. But yeah, my roommate had a PS5. It was cool, but it's like you said, I'm gonna make the switch to PC soon.
Yeah, it really. I used to be super stubborn about it all. Like, oh no, I've always used PlayStation. I'm PlayStation Nation, and all that BS. But the PC is just so much more worth it. I mean, especially like since we're doing media stuff, I do everything for GTD on this PC. And I even got to write it off as a tax expense for work. So I got some money back. That was nice.
That's another reason why I wanted to. I'm going to start contributing more stuff, but I can't because my equipment is aged. So
it'd be like that.
All right. But then low light of the week, I saw this lady at the gym that was working out while reading a book at the same time. And I've never just felt so inferior intellectually to another, physically and intellectually to another human being in my entire life. I just walked in, minding my own business, feeling good about myself because, at the gym. Mm-hmm. And she's reading a book while working out. And I'm like, I didn't know that I was going to feel like a piece of shit today. Thank you for telling me.
What kind of workout was she doing?
She was on a bike at that point.
Okay. That's not – okay, I was about to say, she's just like curling with one hand and lifting with the other. That's insane.
Pretty sure she got to that point.
Oh, my God.
I was like, okay, good to know that you're better than me.
I haven't been to the gym in a while, so that at least shows that you're better than some people. All right. Anyway, my highlight of the week is the Premier League season is back. I have been waiting for this all summer. It's finally back. It kicked off this weekend. We had a few big games like Man City, Tottenham, which Tottenham upset them. But that's overall just my highlight. I'm so excited to be able to watch soccer every weekend, some Wednesdays, just throughout the week. That's my daytime sport. Daytime is soccer, nighttime American shit. But see that it's kind of a double-edged sword because my highlight is the same thing as my low light of this week. I'm an Arsenal fan, and as you know, we texted about it whenever the game happened. We got clapped by a team that has never scored a Premier League goal in their 74-year history. So, as an Arsenal fan, it's an embarrassing start to the season. I had so many high hopes, as I do every year, and they got crushed in literally one game. So it's going to be a long season, but either way, I'm glad they're back. The Premier League's back.
Premier League's back.
It's back,
so
baby.
When are their major games on? Like what day?
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that's so tough.
Yeah, both of them. And then every now and then you'll have a major game on Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And usually like Champions League and Europa League, they're always played on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those days in the middle of the week.
Okay, because I was wondering because they start at 10 on Saturdays and Sundays, right?
They start at 6, bro.
6 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay. I've had plenty of early mornings for Arsenal games.
Yeah.
At 6 a.m. Yeah.
But isn't there another one at 9 or 10?
Mm-hmm. There's usually 10 games, or not 10 games, like at least 5 Premier League games on Saturday, then 5 on Sunday.
Okay.
They try to split it up between the weekend.
Cool, because that'll carry me up to kickoff, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, you can get more into Premier League. That'd be a good way to get into it.
Yeah. So
because there's usually one at 6, then 9, and then 12. Sometimes they're even at 8, and it just depends on the TV schedule.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'll watch the shittiest football game before I watch the best Premier League game.
Bro.
I will. I'll watch Jets Broncos, Thursday night football, 10 times out of 10 over Chelsea Man City, whatever the best Premier League matchup is right
See,
now.
I would agree for the most part, but if it's literally just a shitty Thursday night football game like you just said, then I would much rather watch Manchester United versus Man City, Chelsea versus Liverpool. I don't know, any of the Big Six matchups. It's electric, especially now the fans are back. Fans are back in the stands.
Fans are back. Fully?
Yeah, the atmosphere. Yeah, I think some teams are fully, some teams aren't. Because there was a couple games I was watching where it was holy shid, this is a huge difference. But others, Arsenal is having trouble selling their tickets for their next game after losing their first one.
Oh, my God.
Fair weather fans, man.
It's tough.
It is what it is. But other than that, it's been a pretty slow week in sports. But what were you about to say? Speaking of what?
Speaking of fair weather fans, fair weather Tebow fans are now
not having a good
out of the Jags business.
Yeah. I was so sad whenever I heard this news broke. I didn't realistically think Tebow had a shot of doing anything.
I thought he was going to make it. I really did.
Really? You thought he was going to make the roster?
Because
I did too. To just make the roster
because of the money.
And I just thought it was because his veteran, his leadership, all that yada yada. He's a locker room guy.
I thought there was going to be enough value in terms of like financial and maybe what he could do on the field and in the locker room. I thought there could be enough, but there wasn't. And
yeah, well, Urban Meyer said that like everybody in the locker room loved him and like everybody got along with him. But then his quote was, "We knew it was an uphill battle for Tim." So, I mean, he transitioned from quarterback to tight end. Like that's not necessarily an easy switch. And he also is doing it 9 years after his last regular season appearance.
Yeah. Maybe if he did this 10 years ago when the Jets initially asked him to do it, because a lot of people forget that. Because when he got traded to the Jets, they still had Mark Sanchez. But he's just such an athlete, like we talked about, that they wanted to have him on the field. So they asked him to transition to tight end. He did it a little bit, and he was like, "No, I don't like it. I'm a quarterback." And then so he tried to do it, and then he had that tryout with the Eagles. After
I do remember that, yeah.
And then I don't think there's anything after the Eagles.
Not in the NFL, I don't think.
He played baseball.
I was going to say, he went to the Mets organization.
Poor guy, man.
I mean, hey, he's an athlete, though. He could do it. The fact that he's still playing with the pros is still pretty impressive. Like, I don't understand whenever people just knock Tebow, like saying, "Oh, he's dog water. No way the Jags are ever going to play him." Like, he's an athlete.
Well, don't get this wrong though. This was definitely a buddy call. This was definitely like
him signing originally.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right about that. No, you're right. Yeah.
This is an old boys club move. Like, hey man, Urban, remember those national championships, buddy? Like, do you remember what we did together last time I was on the field for you and you were calling plays? Like, do you remember? And Urban was like, yeah, I do. I do remember. And then he saw him running sprints because they're neighbors, and he's like, fuck, Tim looks good.
Let's go, baby. Bring it back. Sign him.
He could definitely be a tight end.
I mean, that's exactly right, probably. That's probably like exactly how the conversation went to the T.
Yeah.
But I just don't get what else. I don't know. Do you think he has any other role in the NFL that he could fit in?
Maybe an organizational role. I could see him doing that.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Because, like, for one, fans love him. So it would be like a good PR move in terms of a team to sign him. So bring a lot of good publicity. And two, I guess, apparently, from what we know, locker rooms love him. So he'd be a good guy to have just in the building, for players to kind of be around and say, we got Tim Tebow. Maybe as like a team minister. I could see him doing that. I don't know why he hasn't done that. Because a lot of teams,
be something, yeah.
A lot of teams have sports ministers or something like that, because a lot of NFL players are religious. So I could see him doing something like that. I'm surprised that he hasn't, but probably because he makes so much money working for ESPN, but he just keeps on, and he's good at that too. He's good at being on TV.
Yeah, he has a great personality for it.
Yeah, he's good on College Game Day. So like, I don't know. He's just good at everything that he does, basically.
What I really want to know is what is I just blanked. Oh my god. Oh, I know. What is Tim Tebow truly like? That's what I want to know. What is he like in the locker room? Because we always hear
closed doors.
Yeah, we always hear these great things. We always, he's a very Christian man. And I'm not doubting that he's a good person whatsoever. I just feel like there has to be a wild side to Tebow. There has to be.
So I saw this video of a guy that went to Florida with him, and that he said that Tebow wasn't very well liked in the locker room. They thought that he was kind of a snitch and just kind of like a good boy, and not like it didn't really fit into the locker room. They just rocked with him because he was Tebow,
Yeah. I mean, how could you not rock with Tebow in college, though? I mean, if he's winning you national championships, winning all those games, you kind of have to.
Yeah, he should have 2 Heismans. But definitely 100% the greatest college quarterback of all time.
I'm glad you said that. I agree. I saw a tweet earlier. I think it was yesterday. I put it out on the GTD Sports account, but somebody was asking, is Tebow the greatest college QB of all time? Like, without a doubt, yes. Like, there's an argument for some other guys, but, I mean, Tebow's...
Who else would even be up there?
You could say Johnny Manziel would be up there, arguably. Okay. Doug Flutie, historically, was a solid one.
Yeah, the thing with Johnny Football though, Johnny Football really only had that one season where he was dope.
And then, Roger Staubach at Notre Dame.
Okay.
He's up there too.
Well, he was at Navy.
Oh, Navy. Sorry, I'm thinking colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you probably thinking of gold. Joe Montana, too?
But he wasn't as amazing in college.
He wasn't that great. Yeah, you're right.
But regardless, Tebow is. Oh, Vince Young. Yeah, Vince Young is another one. Matt Leinart too. He was awesome. Yeah, I think Vince Young is probably up there in the top 3. Michael Vick had a pretty insane college experience.
It's true.
It's just because he was a unique athlete. Nobody could catch him. But
Sam Bradford really strikes me as a guy that was just lights out in college.
That's true. That's another good one. He doesn't get talked about very much. Yeah.
Well, he would have been probably one of the greatest ever in the NFL if he just didn't tear his ACL 3 times.
If we're talking about most winningest quarterbacks of all time, Kellen Moore, bro, Boise State. I mean, he would be up there. Shit, he won 44 games as a starter out of 48.
Yeah, he was nuts. He was nuts.
Nah,
damn good OC too.
Yeah, damn good. Yeah, he transitioned super young too, really young to get into coaching. I feel like.
Well, that's what they've said about him the whole time he was with the Cowboys. I remember that lost season where he actually started a couple games for us. That was the one thing that the announcers kept saying. They're like, as soon as this guy's done with his playing career, he's going to be a coach. And then that year when Dak took over, he broke his leg because Kellen Moore was supposed to be the backup. Dak was supposed to be the third string, Dak's rookie year in 2016.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore broke his leg, and then he was like, Dak completely took over, and he was like, fuck it, I don't want to be a backup. And then they were like, just come in to the coaching, and then that's when he became the quarterback's coach next year, and then he took over as OC the following year.
Dude, it's also awesome that he literally started his coaching career like that. It's one thing to start at such a young age, but also to start right in the ring of fire in the NFL. He didn't have to go back to college and be a graduate assistant like some people are and whatnot.
I think he's just that smart. And 2, he's probably going to be if Mike McCarthy shits the bed this year, he's probably going to be our head coach next year.
Really? You think so?
I think so, 100%. Jerry Jones loves him. Jerry Jones threw a bucket of money just so that he wouldn't leave us when Mike McCarthy came. He made damn sure.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually. I would give it a couple years, though. Do you think McCarthy, what's his job security looking like, though?
For me?
Do you know how long they're going to give him?
For me, this year's pushing it. And then if he doesn't get results by next year, absolutely not. So,
okay, that's
even
fair.
him, I have 2 years. I have a warm seat on him this year. And if he gets one playoff win, okay. But if we don't make the playoffs, or if we don't get a playoff win, I want him the fuck out. I don't want another Jason Garrett situation. Excuse me.
That's fair. Yeah, I totally understand that. I would give it a year, and then maybe towards the beginning of the next season, if it's not figured out by then.
No, if we don't get results this year, Kellen Moore time. Fuck it. Let's see what that young gun can do.
I would love to see that. Yeah, I was about to say Sean McVay. It's the wave of young coaches are coming in. Cliff Kingsbury,
Brandon Staley,
for
the Chargers that just got hired. Young defensive coordinator for the Rams. So it's time. Guys don't have to pay their dues as much if they're smart enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it used to be treated like the fucking president of the United States, bro. There was an age requirement of 50 plus to be an NFL coach. I don't know why, but
Sean McVay. I mean, it was kind of trending downward beforehand, but Sean McVay just broke the barrier.
Yeah, he really did because he was so successful right away.
Yeah. Well, he's a wonderkind for sure. And then so people came away and were like, damn, this guy, even as a 30-year-old, is able to connect and command these players. Why wouldn't it work elsewhere? But also, too, a lot of the Sean McVay hires really haven't gone as great, in my opinion. The only reason, let's be real, too, the only reason why Kingsbury has a job is because Sean McVay did so well. You could look at other guys, too, around the league.
I think that was one of the worst hires, of all time, bro. And I'm not saying Kingsbury has done terrible because he really hasn't.
He's been mediocre.
Have done okay, very mediocre, I think, as a coach. And that's honestly, that's a win for him coming out of the situation he did, being mediocre in the NFL. Because I did not see it. He could barely lead Texas Tech to a bowl game, and he only did so because he had Patrick Mahomes. And so, just
he had a
the NFL
sub 500 record with the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, what the fuck? People just don't. I don't know. People don't talk about that. They just liked his electric air raid offense. They wanted to see it in the NFL, I guess.
Well, and he's good looking.
Yeah, he's hot. Ryan Gosling. Literally like a clone of Ryan Gosling, bro. It's kind of weird.
I love Ryan Gosling.
I don't know. In other news, NFL news. Are you starting to think about Ryan Gosling? What?
I love him so much. He's my favorite actor.
Really?
Dude, 100%.
I mean, he's a good actor. I'm not going to lie.
You not seen – I'll send you a list of Ryan Gosling movies you watch.
Okay, because I was about to say, honestly, I don't watch
Lars and the Real Girl, Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner, I went to the theater.
The Nice Guys.
I fell asleep in the theater on that one. I choked. I want to rewatch it, though. The Nice Guys?
Nice Guys is hilarious. With him and Russell Crowe.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough
about Gosling. Yeah, let's talk about the NFL taunting rule.
Yeah, so that's some bullshit.
Yeah, so what exactly is the new taunting rule?
So I'm not exactly sure, but it's way, way, way too aggressive. Like it's like you saw the Colts clip, right? I'm sure everyone was watching
that clip.
Yeah, I saw the Colts running that clip. All he did was just go flex, and then just
he
went
looked at him.
He maybe like directed. He was like, yeah, like what's up? Very mild case, and then he got the flag. So I guess that's what it's looking like, is just very minor infractions, just for like saying like, yeah, bitch, after you make a play, like you're gonna get flagged for it. Like
soft. It's so soft.
Super soft. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay, but the thing that surprised me the most is that the people on Twitter that have defended it.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. What are they saying? Because I honestly haven't seen very many people defending it.
So they're all saying like, these are for the kids. Like, we don't want to see kids in Pop Warner acting like that and like flexing on their opponents. We want to see them act with class, and we want to see pros act like professionals. And honestly, too, I think that kind of take, and I never make these kind of takes, it's a low-key, a little racist.
Oh, God.
Just low-key, just a little bit. But then I heard Ron Rivera say it, and I was like, maybe I'm in the wrong frame of mind. Because Ron Rivera also had that same kind of mentality.
Like, wait, what do you mean? Like,
of that players don't need to be he said that players can get excited, but not direct that excitement towards the opponent.
Oh, so are you saying like the new rule in general is a little racist?
No, not the new rule in general, but the people that are all like, get this classless act out of the game.
Oh, okay.
Like
that makes a lot more sense. Makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say here. Just that kind of take is just, you know what I'm saying?
Teensy, yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I think you just don't like black people showboating on your TV.
People are salty, bro. I don't understand that argument of like the changing it. Not necessarily changing it, but like for the kids in Pop Warner, you want to see them act with class, but then if they make it to the league, they can do whatever they want per se, kind of.
I don't know. How about you be a better fucking parent?
Yeah, just don't raise a dick. I mean, I still don't get it's not rude, it's not extreme, it's not crossing the line to literally flex and like be like, yeah, what's up, bro? What's up? Like, you know?
Yeah, and I thought the rule before was fine, like was good, because anytime that I saw something that was like egregious, and it got flagged for it, I agreed with it. I feel like for the most part, anytime I saw something that was bullshit, like out of hand, it got flagged.
Yeah, and I mean it should. There's definitely a fine line, you know, as to what should be considered a flag and what shouldn't. But it's just getting ridiculous at this point. It's like, let the boys play, you know? You're going to be throwing a flag every 5 plays if it's going to be like the Colts video we're talking about.
Yeah, I just hope that this is just preseason stuff, and they're not going to call it like this in the regular season. They're just calling it like this in the preseason, so that way it gets guys to kind of calm down a little bit and maybe just not do it as much in the regular season.
That's true, a scare tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scare tactic the players.
They did that before with one of the pass interference rules they had a couple of years ago. They called like an exorbitant amount of flags. I think this was like 4 or 5 years ago. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And so
whenever it was
then the regular season came along, and then it was mostly fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also the preseason for the refs too. As weird as that sounds, like these refs are getting their feet back under them, getting back used to looking for specific things. I mean, I know that's their job; they're trained to do it, but everybody makes wrong calls. Mistakes happen. They're not perfect.
True.
They're people too. So I mean,
I don't know, that one ref was kind of a cocksucker with how he threw that one flag. Like he didn't look at the guy. He like glanced, looked forward, just
instant, bro.
He even gave a little wrist flick.
Dude, sometimes the refs, the way they throw the flag is condescending. It's like, oh, you dick, bro. You dick. Just I don't know the way the flick sometimes. And like you said,
I love it when they get really into it. They're like, they fucking blow as hard as they can. They just put their whole body into it.
Yeah, they do that. They because it's like across their body. So they got to like Excalibur sword, like fucking throw it in the air.
Or fuck it. Do you remember that one ref? And I'm pretty sure this was in preseason as well. I think it was a Saints game. He threw the flag like 30, 40 yards.
He just threw it straight. Yeah.
He just goes,
It's like, bro, why are you a ref? You need to be behind center, dude.
Yeah. It flew like a badminton, just going.
Yeah, I would totally be extreme with it though. That would be the most fun part, I feel like, as a ref. I would just look at somebody and I'd be like like just stare him down.
Especially preseason, I'd fuck around so hard.
Oh yeah, and then if like I get yelled at by my boss, I'd be like, I didn't know.
Like, this is an entertainment business. I'm putting on a show.
Yeah, it's on TV, everybody's watching.
But no, long story short though, this rule is bullshit though.
Yeah, it is bullshit.
And did you hear you were about to say the Giants co-owner?
Oh no, I was gonna say I have like the kind of official ruling per se on it. This is from the NFL Competition Committee Chair, Rich McKay, which, first of all, what kind of fucking job is the NFL Competition Committee Chair? What do you even do anyway? But he said
probably six figures.
It's probably oh, sorry, I'm sick. Ugh.
Jesus.
He's probably making close to $1 million. It's not contagious, just little sinuses,
Whatever.
But he said the NFL Players Association, coaches, and competition committee have all made a strong statement regarding respect among everyone on the field. We saw an increase in actions that clearly are not within the spirit and intent of this rule and not representative of the respective opponents and others on the field. Game officials have been instructed to strictly enforce the taunting rules, and players and coaches are reminded that 2 taunting penalties committed by an individual player will result in automatic disqualification. In addition, the taunting player may be fined and or suspended depending on the severity of the actions. So, I mean, it sounds like logistically the rule is basically the same. He's kind of just saying it's more extreme. Like, literally same rule, just stricter guidelines.
Well, and the expulsion, the getting kicked out of the game. That's that's true, because that was just for like unnecessary, unnecessary roughness penalties.
I
forget
targeting. That's what I'm trying to think of.
There's targeting, and then there's like you said, unnecessary roughness. If you have 2 of those, you get kicked out. But yeah, so like I just can't imagine getting kicked out for flexing. Like, that's just
it would be embarrassing too, because like it's also you have to do it twice, so I feel like if you got in trouble for it the first time, like you just gotta just not think, you gotta think about it the whole time. Yeah, you just gotta be super conscious of it.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be so hard to keep your emotions in check like that, to that extent.
I mean, you're playing football. It's an emotional, physical game.
Exactly.
A lot of adrenaline running, everything like that. So I definitely side with the players on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, I feel like the reactions that we see from football players are pretty genuine for the most part. Like basketball players, they put on a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the NBA is all for it though.
Yeah, NBA is all for it. But I'm saying like when NFL players when we see them behave a certain way, I really don't think like, for the most part, they're being pretty genuine about how they are.
Oh yeah,
like they're that hyped up.
Yeah,
like you gotta be.
Sure.
You gotta be to run through.
Especially I was gonna say like a 3rd and 10. You break through a few tackles, you get the first down. Like hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
How can you not? How could you? Yeah,
I don't get that. But what did you say? What did you bring up? The Giants co-owner.
So the Giants co-owner John Mara, he was the driving force behind the rule, and then since like half of Twitter's been complaining about, this rule, he went out and defended it too again and just gave that same lame excuse of we're professionals and we're trying to bring class to the game and this classless behavior. And it's just like, okay, dude. Good to know that you're boring.
Dude, yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't see. It turned into, it was trending on Twitter the other day. The NFL stands for the no fun league. It's boring.
100%.
They stop anything that could have to do with fun other than Nickelodeon's Slime Zone touchdowns. That was the most fun thing the NFL's done in the last decade.
I can't wait for that playoff game this year too.
Oh, dude. Who's going to be the MVP this time?
Oh, I can see Jameis Winston. Seems like a prime candidate.
Jameis would definitely be a prime candidate, yeah.
But speaking of, like we were talking about last week, it sounds like Taysom Hill's going to be the Saints quarterback.
I honestly haven't followed it as much. Did any news come out?
Yeah, there's been reports, nothing official, but just reports and rumors, major ones, that Sean Payton's just all about Taysom Hill as the number one. And here's what I thought about since last week's episode. Think about what Taysom has that Jameis doesn't.
I mean, more athleticism.
Yeah, exactly. Mobility.
Yeah.
Jameis, remember when he ran his 40?
Yeah.
There's an offensive lineman that ran faster 40s than him.
I do, yeah.
So that's a major problem in today's game. The game's evolving. You got to have a mobile quarterback. That's not Jameis Winston.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Saints used Drew Brees for the last decade, and he's the farthest thing from a mobile quarterback.
That's true too. But maybe Sean Payton wants to move with something different, move forward with guys like Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, if they were going to try and make that transition, now would be the time.
Kyler Murray. I mean, look at all the guys that were picked 1, 2, and 3. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's not exactly a mobile quarterback like the rest of the guys.
He can run, bro.
But he's got some legs.
He's got some
Zach
wheels
Wilson
on him.
Is an athlete. Trey Lance. His legs are probably better than his arm even. I mean, and Justin Fields, who was the 4th quarterback taken.
He's also very mobile, yeah.
I mean, so like the guys that are just coming out, you got to have mobility with this. And that's what's holding Jameis Winston back. And I think that's the driving force why Jameis Winston is not going to be the starter for the Saints coming out this year. That's
so sad, man. I want to see Jameis play. I want to see Mr. 30 for 30. I mean, at the same time, though, I do want to watch Taysom Hill. Like, I want to see how he works out. I want to see him playing quarterback. Because there's going to be some fun plays. They're going to have some weird trickeration thrown in there. At least I hope.
Well, luckily for you, Taysom Hill, the last time he was a full-time starting quarterback in BYU, he got hurt nonstop. So we're going to see some Jameis this year. You didn't?
No. I knew he played at BYU, but I didn't know he got hurt all the time.
He played like 6 years at BYU, and because he got like 2 medical redshirt seasons.
Actually, I do remember that. I just didn't remember that being Taysom Hill. I remember BYU had a guy for like 6 years. Yeah.
It was him because he kept on getting hurt so often.
That sucks. But I mean, that's also kind of cool, though, that he got 2 extra years of college or college ball, at least, because, he already graduated by that time. But now some other interesting, controversial news. It's not NFL related. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, probably just touch on this a tad, not go too deep into it. But the NHL is now allowing advertisements on their uniforms. What is your initial reaction?
I would say that this just means that it's inevitable to come to NFL and MLB.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been on that way for a while. I'm surprised NHL was this late, because the NHL has a little bit more surface area for the advertisements.
Well, another thing too is that the NHL is like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to profit for the league. Yeah. So that's why I could see them doing it. And like, I want to hate it. I do. But like, I remember when the NBA did this and I was like, dude, this is such bullshit. And then it happened and I was like, oh yeah, I don't care that much.
Like you barely even noticed it on the NBA jerseys.
No, and it's like, in some cases they're kind of cool. Like the Orlando Magic having Disney.
Yeah.
That brings a smile to my face every time.
It makes sense, it matches.
It makes sense. Or like Bucks with the Harley Davidson, like that's cool.
Yeah, there are some that just like feel like they belong on the jersey now.
Yeah, so those ones, like some of you put it like I'm like because it's such a, usually the teams are paired with such an iconic business from the area. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And what's weird though too is people have been overreacting like majorly. People have been acting like this is going to turn into fucking NASCAR, dude, where it's literally just the entire car advertised. But there's no way the NHL is ever going to allow for anything like that. So people need to slow their roll. I think it's fine. I'm honestly all for it because, it brings more money in for these teams who, like you mentioned, it's clearly the bottom league bringing in the least revenue out of the core four in America. So this will help the revenue. It may lead to more eyes on it. You never know how advertising and shit works, but it's just something different. Yeah, publicity is publicity.
Publicity is publicity. So,
no such thing as bad publicity.
Nope, not at all. So I don't know. I hope you're right though, and it doesn't turn out to be like NASCAR, because that would be stupid if it turned out to be like some fucking like super duper like obscure like minor league team that has like all these, because you've seen teams like that where they just have like shit everywhere on like ESPN 8 and they're just covered in ads.
Like cornhole, bro. Have you seen the cornhole shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally just ads all over the shirt.
That's how I feel like it's gotten with golf sometimes too. Because golf, like guys will have one on the lapel, they'll have one on the collar, their hat, they have brim, side, one on the back, one on the other side. So
that way it's visible from all angles, baby.
It's coming from everywhere,
No matter where the camera is, it's got to be seen. I really don't mind it. I don't think it's like, I don't get why people have such a big problem with it, as if it's like really gonna tarnish their viewing experience. Like, is an advertisement on the jersey really gonna stop you from watching a game or enjoying a game or missing a certain angle? Like, no, it's just gonna be a little blip.
And if you're at the game, you're never gonna see it.
Yeah, you're not even gonna notice it ever. I mean, unless you're at like a soccer game, because it's kind of just fat on the middle of the chest. Yeah.
I will say though, when I was like dumb and 8 years old, I was like, why is Barcelona, like, why is their mascot the Fly Emirates? Like, what does that mean? Like, is that like a cultural thing in Spain?
That's funny. There's so many teams too with Fly Emirates on it.
Yeah, or like Buen for Real Madrid. And then I like saw like a Jeep one. I was like, wait, these are ads.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them kind of just fit. Like, I'm almost used to it with soccer, just like the ad being in the middle. Like, Jeep for Juventus is perfect. Like, I don't know why, it just fits. Like, I could never imagine a soccer jersey where the logo was just big in the center, Like, I can only imagine it really tiny up here.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come like that to America, because I don't want it to. I'm like tired of being force-fed ads, but like I could deal with a patch. A patch, like, whatever.
We got a comment. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but he's cute. Shout out Nia for the comment. I don't know.
Who's cute?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Ryan Gosling?
What?
Is she talking about Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling? Yeah. Oh, no, that was a while ago. This was like a recent comment. I don't know. I guess we can find out as we get into our toxic fan base rankings. I'm excited. Oh, I got to pull it up on the live though, so we can have a visual. If you guys aren't watching the live version of the podcast and you're listening to the recorded version, I highly, highly recommend tuning in to the live version, or at least the YouTube version, because we upload the whole video after we record it as well. Because sometimes, like right now, there are some of these visual elements that just kind of help you understand what we're talking about, just for reference and everything like that. So right now, what we are about to do is we're going to do a tier list maker. Basically, we're going to rank which fan bases we think are absolutely terrible, the most toxic in the league. And this is NFL, of course, all the way up to the best of the best. No problems with them whatsoever. It's going to be interesting, too, because I don't know how me and Elijah will agree. I don't know if we'll have differing opinions. I'm assuming they'll most likely be the same. All right.
Yeah, we'll probably. Well, this is both of our lists, so we're gonna debate this. So
Yeah.
we're gonna. And then update on the Q comment. Apparently, we both are. So there's definitely a Russian bot that's talking to us right now. There's no way. We're both just getting hit on right now in the middle of our podcast.
Trying to sell us. They're trying to sell us to some ChatterBait links, bro.
Gotta be.
We're fucked, bro. We're done. All right. Yeah. First off, sorry for all the advertisements on this website. This is just the free tier list maker. So ignore the side ads. I'll try to zoom in a little bit here so that. How's that? Is that better?
Whoa. Yeah, you got me running a Ben and Jerry's ad. Mood for some sweets now.
I can't even get it out of the way. Are you okay? Nope, we're not zooming in. I guess
Fuck
that's
it.
Whatever.
It's fine.
All right, we're gonna go one by one. As you can see, the rankings here, we have last place is the scum of the earth. Then it's just simply no bueno. We don't like them. And then middle tier are just decent human beings. Don't love them, don't hate them. And then not too shabby. Pretty good fans. Would probably have a beer and watch the game with them. And then the top tier is absolute best in the league. No problems with, no toxicity whatsoever.
All right. Should add one and just say props being fans for these guys for.
Props being fans? Let's see. Can I add one?
Yeah.
Oh God, what'd I do?
Uh-oh.
I think these are pre-made.
Okay, whatever. We're good.
Oh wait, no. Add
a row.
There we go. Add a row, baby. Respect for staying loyal.
Nobody cares. Like it's kind of just like nobody really cares about you. So
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna
let's go. Let's just start. Yeah, top left, and let's go like kind of like a snake.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. First up is the Chicago Bears.
I don't think that there's really bad things to say about the Chicago Bears. They're like a fun fan base. I pity them a lot because they don't have a decent offense to cheer for. So I would say like decent human beings tier.
Decent human beings. Yeah, I would agree. I really don't have a strong opinion on the Bears fan base. So yeah, I would agree. Stick them right in the middle there. Don't have a huge problem with them. Buccaneers. Next up, Buccaneers. I honestly would probably put them in not too shabby.
Okay.
I wouldn't say they're the best in the league, but I mean historically the Buccaneers aren't the greatest organization in the world. They only kind of had this recent success thanks to Brady. So they're pretty loyal fans, I would say.
Yeah, I can agree with that. They're pushing it though. They're pushing it.
With the Tom Brady shit?
With the Tom Brady shit and the Tampa Bay and what's their fucking thing with the Lightning and then like Championship Bay, Trophy Day or whatever.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about because both the Lightning and the Bucks won.
They're about to get annoying really quick. But for now, I'm gonna agree with you.
Not too shabby. All right.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. All right. Next up is the Falcons. I'm not the biggest fan.
Loyal. Oh, yeah. Not?
I respect for being loyal, but I'm not the biggest fan because they always think that they're better than they are. If that makes sense.
That is so true.
They always think they're so much better than the Falcons are.
They're always like, if we can just figure it out, some things will go right for us. Like we can make a really good run in the playoffs. You're so fucking right.
But it's like, dude, you don't have anything to figure out. This is as good as you're gonna get. Like
you guys just aren't good. It's like we still got Matt Ryan. Like we're gonna be good. You're so right.
Where would you rank them?
No bueno.
No bueno. I wouldn't put them all the way. Not all the way down. All right.
Maybe we should throw in. Maybe we should throw in another one there just to kind of buffer it because there's just so many teams between like this because there's going to be definitely like between the Falcons and some like shittier fan bases. So maybe like pushing it, that would be Falcons.
Okay, I like that actually. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'll add one right there. Pushing it. I spelled it wrong. I like that. All right. Next up is the Browns. See, I'm a Bengals fan. So I'm not a huge fan, but I will admit the Browns are some of the craziest and most loyal fans in the entire NFL.
Respect for being loyal.
For that reason alone, I would probably put them in the upper echelon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say for them, like, I agree with you. Like, they are definitely passionate fans, and they're good now, so they haven't been annoying yet. But as soon as they are good and they get a couple more playoffs wins, they are going to be like, they're going to start to push it.
I think so too. Yeah, which is, I hate to admit it.
I hate to admit it, but it's because they suffered for so long and they still stuck around, and their own 16 parade. Like,
so with that being said, do you think they deserve to be in the best of the league category? I feel like it's going to be harder until we get deeper into it, you know?
Yeah.
I'd say maybe not too shabby.
No, you got to put them in the best in the league right now. Because they're not dickheads, are they?
No, they don't. They're not dickheads, no. I mean, as a Bengal fan,
they would be
dicks to us if anybody.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with Browns fans on the internet. So, yeah.
The only thing is whenever they got Manziel. They were so
yeah, but that was a flash in the pan. So
yeah,
and that was probably
agree.
A&M Browns fans that were being annoying. So
yeah, like the fake ones that just bought a jersey as soon as he got drafted.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next up is the Seahawks. I again don't have a very strong opinion on this. I'm gonna leave this one more up to you.
Seahawks fans kind of suck.
Really?
Yeah, I've been to Washington. Like they're all fake fans. Like they only started being fans of the team when Russell Wilson came on with the Legion of Boom. They started being good. They all act like they originated with the 12th man, which is not a real thing with Seattle.
Yeah,
it's actually an A&M thing. And the Seattle Seahawks paid A&M to say the 12th man, and they act like they own it. And Washington in general is pretty shitty. So I would say no bueno.
Yeah, I would actually agree. You brought up that point, fair weather fans. The only Seahawk fan I know in real life is very strongly opinionated in the sense that if they lose a game, he's like, oh, we fucking suck. Like, we're done. Like, it's over. And if they win, we're like, dude, we're going to the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? So, yeah, I would agree with no bueno. All right, now we got the Lions. Oh, I think the Lions need to go in the respect for staying loyal category.
Respect for staying loyal. Respect for staying loyal.
I would hate to be a Lions fan, bro.
Yeah, if you're still there doing your thing, man, like respect and love, brother.
Respect and love, man.
Yeah. Cowboys fans, I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
You know, as a Cowboys fan, okay?
We're scum.
The scum of the earth.
We're scum of the earth.
I'm glad you agree.
It's okay though, because a part of me in recent years, especially since we started this podcast, I kind of like being the annoying Cowboys fan.
It's a role. Everybody's got a role to play, you know. Cowboys fans do it so well.
Because we are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. That's literally the reason why. It's because they say they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. And they go 8-8.
And fucking Dak's back. Zeke is skinny. I mean, we're doing it.
Yeah. I am very high on Dak, though, this year. So I think he's going to do great. As long as he stays healthy.
Shoulder. But okay, Washington football team.
I don't know how I feel.
I don't either.
That's a tough one.
I guess they're not too shabby because, like, I've never met a Washington football team fan that I hated. I just hate the organization with Dan Snyder.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, too, is I really don't have many experiences with their fan base, but I do hate the organization itself.
Yeah, I've even been to Cowboys games where we played the Redskins, and, like, they were fine. I never had any problems with them whatsoever.
I'd probably put decent human beings. I mean, right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It is fair.
All right, Cardinals. Honestly, the few Cardinal fans I know, I honestly like them. I think they're a decent fan base. I wouldn't put them in the best in the league, but I would probably have them up at not too shabby.
Okay, I can agree with that.
You agree?
Yeah.
All right.
Put them there.
Not
okay,
too
we
shabby.
all know where these people are going.
Oh yeah, we don't even need to talk about it.
Eagles fans, yeah, they're
Done.
worse than us. So
oh yeah,
Eagles fans fucking suck.
There's literally a jail in their football stadium for a reason, which is nuts. I'm surprised that's still a thing, but it happens. So, all right, Dolphins.
Dolphins, huh?
This one I'm very 50-50 on because
I'm not really sure.
There are some Dolphin fans that are, like DJ Khaled, fucking Tua Tagovailoa, we're going to the Super Bowl, another one, and then there's people that have lived in Miami their whole life and were there for the Dan Marino days and everything, and they experienced that 16-0, and they also experienced the tragedy that was the 2000 to 2010 era.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm 50-50.
I think. See, they have a case to be in a lot of different categories. Like they have, like respect for staying loyal because, like you said, 2010 was awful, and now like Brian Flores is probably one of my favorite head coaches. Like last year, I was straight up since the Cowboys were so bad. I was straight up a Dolphins fan. Like Dolphins were my number 2 team.
I've always kind of liked the Dolphins. I don't know why.
I love their unis and their colorform set. I've always liked Miami too, just because like Miami's just a cool place. Except for the Heat.
Fuck you.
I'm
a Heat fan, so I should be a Dolphins fan, maybe.
I know. So they could be respect for staying loyal or like decent human beings category.
I
don't know.
I'd probably say decent human beings. I think the Dolphins have experienced a bit too much success to say respect for staying loyal. Because, I mean, they did have the undefeated season,
Yeah, but that was in like the 70s.
Yeah.
But they're not the Lions by any means. So
yeah,
that's true.
Decent human beings.
Decent human beings. All right. Hats.
They're on the lower end of the spectrum.
Are they no bueno or are they scum of the earth?
That's what I'm debating. I don't know. It's one of the two.
I think they're scum, man.
You think they're scum? I wouldn't argue with you.
Because think about the main reason why I say that is because what comes into my mind is you remember that picture of that 12-year-old kid or that young teenager? He's like, I'm 13 and I've been to 15 parades.
Yeah.
Fuck those people.
They've experienced way too much. And I mean, I hate to be the kind of person that's like, oh, just because you're doing good, fuck you. But no, they've experienced way too much success. They've had enough.
And they still bitch and moan.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yep. You convinced me. Scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. Fuck Patriots. Oh yeah, because they do complain, bro. It's like, well, what do you have to complain about? Your off season is going 11-5. Like what? Whatever.
Okay, Jags fans, respect for staying loyal.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah, respect for staying loyal.
We all know why. We don't need to talk about it.
Poor Jacksonville.
Vikings, okay, I don't know how much you're going to agree with this, but I think Vikings are kind of pushing it.
Really? I would agree, honestly.
We get it. You're sad.
And they suck Dalvin Cook's dick now, though.
And all they do is complain about all like the terrible things that have happened to them in their playoff history. And it's like, okay, dude, like you're kind of pushing it. And they're just always talking about how great Mike Zimmer is and that Kirk Cousins is actually good and stuff like that. They could also be decent human beings, but
I would say they're pushing. Yeah,
they're pushing it.
That's a good spot for them. Steelers. All right, you know where I want to put them.
I know exactly where you're putting them. I want to put them right there too.
All right, I'm glad we agree. Scum of the earth, bro.
They're okay. I know we didn't do a rankings list. We decided to go with a tier list instead. I'd put Steelers number 1.
As the worst fan base?
Would be 1 and 2.
Yeah. I agree. Steelers are number 1 without a doubt, in my opinion. Okay. Waving their fucking terrible towel. Oh, Big Ben is the GOAT. Dude, shut the fuck up, bro. I hate Steelers fans, man. All right, Packers.
Yeah, that's tough. They're hard to read.
They are tough to read because like Lambeau's electric, bro. I love the atmosphere. I just love the what's the word I'm looking for? The culture, the Green Bay culture with the Packers. But their actual fan base, though, I don't know.
It's kind of tough, yeah. Like, because they could be anywhere from no bueno to not too shabby.
I agree. I don't think they're scum. Definitely not best in the league.
But they're spoiled.
They are spoiled, but they don't really like. They don't seem to brag on it too much, you know. Yeah, they don't shit on people for it. So I'd say probably either not too shabby or decent human beings, whichever one.
I'd say they're not too shabby.
All right, yeah, I would agree with that. Raiders fans. This is a fun one.
I'd say Raiders fans are no bueno.
What?
I don't know if because they're also no bueno, but I could also say they're the best in the league.
I was just about to say they're the best in the league because of like how fucking crazy they are.
But in the 80s, when they were in LA, they used to beat the shit out of people.
That is true. Like they were truly crazy. Like,
but I haven't heard about that too much since then. Like anytime I've heard about like Raiders fans beating the shit out of people, it's in like sports docs.
Yeah. So, well, and also now another aspect to consider too is like the loyalty during the transition from Oakland to Las Vegas.
This is true. This is true.
Because that's a lot of loyalty right there.
And they've been, irrelevant for a really long time too.
Yeah, a very long time. Would you agree to put them in best of the league? I think so.
They're
crazy. But you are right. It really depends on what angle you look at it from for the Raiders.
Oh yeah. Somebody else in California could probably put them in like toxic as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But from us right now in today's day and age, they're like best in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're fun.
Okay. But now we have an entirely new fan base. And I'm just gonna say it. I think that they need their entirely own category that we put no one else in, and that's just Bills Mafia.
Dude, I think if we were ranking them instead of doing like a tier list, I think the Bills have the number one fan base in the league.
Absolutely. They're also like the Bills fans, I think, are so funny because they could easily just be like so toxic.
Yeah,
because they're so lovable.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of like they care, but they don't care. Like they'll joke about their downfalls and stuff like that, you know. Like they'll poke fun at their own team, so it's not necessarily toxic. It's more so like I don't know. They seem like relatable people,
and they're so like aggressive and macho, but they don't beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, crushing tables and everything.
Yeah,
I've seen some of them set on fire while they do it.
The ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, yeah.
I also knew a guy that was from Western New York. He was actually from Orchard Park. And his buddies came into town, and when I went to his house, I had my Cowboys hoodie on, and so of course, like all of his buddies were in town, so they had like all their Bills jersey shit on and like Bills hats, everything like about it. Repping Orchard Park. He just comes up to me. I was like, "Hi, my name's Elijah." And he just goes, "Hey, go Bills!"
Go Bills, baby!
And I was like, "That's your name?" And he's like, "Go fucking Bills, dude. Josh Allen's a good deal." Before Josh Allen was actually good.
I'll never forget it. At my my freshman year, it was literally one of my first college parties ever. This dude was a Bills fan. And he came to it was a jersey party, so he came in a Bills jersey, a Josh Allen jersey, because he had like just gotten drafted, I believe, at that time. And literally within an hour of me being there, this motherfucker is up on the roof, like, yeah, like screaming. Everybody's down below him watching. He fucking pile drives into a table.
I see the video.
He doesn't even break it. He bounces off and slides off.
I've seen that. I saw that.
Yeah, they posted it on Barstool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was funny, bro.
They're fucking awesome. So yeah, they're in a league of their own. They're just Bills Mafia.
I gotta put him.
We can't. Like they're not even like best in the league. They're just Bills Mafia. They're their own beast. Don't even insult the other fan bases up there. That's what I think, at least.
I mean, I agree. Bills are the best.
Bills Number are the one. Best. All right, Ravens. They're a tough choice also. The one Ravens fan I went to high school, they're kind of pushing it.
I was just about to say, I think Ravens are pushing it.
Okay, let's put them there. They're kind of
not all the way toxic, but whenever they have their up years, the toxicity comes out of them.
Saints fans, I like Saints fans.
I do too.
But
I don't have any problem with them.
I think they're not too shabby.
I would agree. Not too shabby.
I wouldn't say, God, there might even. The only reason why I'm holding you up, though, is that there might be an argument to put them up there at best in the league.
Really?
Because, like, you think about, Hurricane Katrina and all that from forever ago, and, like, Drew Brees and, like, how much the Saints mean to that city, too.
That is true, actually.
And they're never dickheads either.
That's true. Yeah, I'll put them there. I'll agree.
Okay.
You're right, because you bring up the Katrina thing, and I think that's something that not a lot of people would probably think about. Because man, that community just fucking came together, bro. It was crazy.
But one thing to put them to the test, though, of saying that they're the best in the league, is that they haven't had enough hard times to fall on to put them to truly in the past since Drew Brees has been there. So like our entire lifetimes hasn't been enough there to test their true fanship.
Yeah,
so we'll see. This could easily change, and they can fall down to not too shabby if shit starts going south for Saints fans in the Taysom Hill / Jameis Winston era.
They're on the cusp. Yeah,
they're on the cusp. They're on the cusp.
All right. Next up is the Titans.
Titans, man.
I think they're pushing it.
You think they're pushing it? Really?
The reason is because of their newfound success. Like with this team in specific, Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Julio, AJ Brown, they have been pretty fucking cocky, at least from what I've seen on the Twitter sphere and everything.
Yeah, you're pretty right.
Where would you have him? What were you about to say? You seem surprised.
I was gonna think like decent, not too shabby, but now that you bring that up and all the Twitter stands, they're all about Julio and those guys. They're probably pushing it right now.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree though. Like decent human beings, I think they're right in between these two.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go pushing it for now. All right, the Giants. You probably have a stronger opinion on this one than I do.
You go first.
Me go first. So the only Giants fan that I'm close with is a bit of a, I mean, he's a diehard fan, definitely. And I can't really put a pin on it. It's tough.
I can't.
I've seen the way that he hates on Brady. He hates on Brady so much. So I've seen the toxicity come out for certain players or certain teams. But then like overall, I don't know. I think we really need to analyze the helmet catch in their Super Bowls with Eli Manning.
I think
are they toxic about that shit?
So I think that you make a really good point by the Brady hate because they still do it to this day, even though they beat him. So for that reason, I think they're pushing it.
Pushing it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
All right. Colts fans? I like the Colts. I think they're not too shabby.
I agree. Yeah, I really don't have any complaints for them.
I also don't think that they do anything that makes them stand out.
Yeah, that is the thing. The Colts are kind of one of those that I really don't know much about. Or at least our fan base, you know.
Yeah. Like they don't really do anything like toxic, but they also don't do anything that's like super cool.
Yeah.
They've also had like pretty much since we've been alive, like a pretty decent track record of being like there, not there, and like, you know. So
yeah.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Broncos fans, I'm not sure where you're gonna go with it, but in my experience, Broncos fans are fucking annoying.
Elaborate. Why so?
They just I don't know. They just all seem to have that same fucking Broncos sticker in the back of their truck. And they always want to talk about how, they had Peyton Manning. It's like, you got him as a free agent. It's not that
You got
big
it for
of a
like
deal.
3 years, bro. Chill out.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just fucking annoying. Like, all they talk about, and they always say, because UC Boulder, it's like SCO Buffs, they always go, SCO Broncos. It's like, okay, dude. So I think they're no bueno.
Yeah, I would agree with no bueno. I don't have as many experiences with Broncos fans. But, yeah, I would agree with just about everything you said, really. Okay. I don't have anything else really to add on them.
Jets fans. Respect for
staying loyal. Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, it's been ever since, from the butt fumble to the 1-win season, it's been a hell of a ride for the Jets over the last couple decades.
Chargers fans as well, I think. Go ahead if you have opinion. I know where I'm going to go with this.
I would probably say Chargers are around. I would probably put them at decent human beings.
Decent human beings? See,
yeah,
I'd put them probably up there with not too shabby.
Yeah, I was about to say either decent or not too shabby.
Because I know a lot of Chargers fans that are from the San Diego area and still continue to be Chargers fans now. So, the true blue Chargers fans, are actually anybody who's still a Chargers fans are actually just San Diego Chargers fans, and then the people in LA don't really care about them. So they're not too shabby. Respect for them continue to be a fan of that team even after their owner fucking dicked you over. So.
They hoed them, bro. They hoed them. At least it's not too far away, though, It's not like a crazy drive. But, yeah, the people in LA just don't give a shit, bro. They can barely sell tickets to their games.
Nope.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs.
They're a tough read.
They are a tough read. I think I'd probably put them in deep human beings because, considering they have Mahomes and they are without a doubt, the best team in the last few years, hands down, they have a lot of room to be toxic if they wanted to be, But I never really hear a chirp from Chiefs fans.
Yeah. I think decent human beings is a good spot for them.
All right. Until they start winning more Super Bowls and then they get fucking cocky.
Super annoying.
Yeah, and then they're going down the list.
Although I do dislike all the Chiefs fans that are actually just Texas Tech fans and then just adapted to
I hate
Mahomes.
people like that.
Remember when Lubbock celebrated the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl like it was them winning the national championship?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a sad, sad place.
I mean, it would be a fun place to go party, though. Shit. Whenever Texas Tech went to the Final Four in basketball, bro.
Yeah.
They were flipping cars and stuff.
Yeah, see, you say that's fun, but then you realize that's the only thing to do there. And so the cool thing to do is to be an alcoholic. It's really not that cool.
Literally, bro. Or get Raider rash.
That too.
All right. Cincinnati Bengals. I think we probably are gonna put them in the same place. What do you think?
I think respect.
Yeah, respect.
Respect.
Yeah. As a Bengals fan myself, I can say we belong in this tier of teams, bro.
Yeah.
Because the last time we won a playoff game was before text messages were invented. So it's been a rough 40 years for us.
Yeah.
Ever since we lost 2 Super Bowls in a row to fucking Joe Montana.
Yep. So the Houston Texans, I'm not really sure where to put them.
I'm not either, because they're the newest fan base.
That's true. They kind of don't exist either. I haven't ran into too many.
Yeah, they're not very common in the media.
And the ones that I know are just personally are just pretty chill about it. But it's also a lot of them are jumping ship right now too, because they're just I don't even know where to put these guys, because I've heard so many people being Bill O'Brien completely destroyed this team. D-Hop left. Deshaun Watson, who was going to be their savior, is leaving / having his own issues. Their owner is definitely like up there with the shittiest owner in sports.
Yeah.
So like, it's tough to be a fan of that team. So I don't even know. Like, so basically, I would just put them at decent human beings because they just like they hate everything that is all wrong with their own team. So they don't even try to defend their like own actions.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're kind of similar to the Washington football team fan base. Like,
That's
I
true.
don't really know where to put them. The organization sucks as a whole, but then the fan base is a little bit separate. So yeah, I'd agree on decent human beings.
Okay.
All right, and then San Francisco 49ers. That's another tough one.
I don't know. They're kind of pushing it.
That's what I'm thinking too, but I can't really put my finger on why.
Bay Area people are pretty stuck up about sports.
Yeah. They've been spoiled because, there's Oakland and San Francisco right there.
Yeah, but they're not toxic. They're not super toxic as well. So I'd probably put them as pushing it.
Pushing it? Okay. Yeah, I'll agree on that. Pushing it is our most popular category right now.
Rams.
I have
wholeheartedly right here. No bueno.
No bueno. Okay.
No bueno. 100%.
How come?
Because since they moved back to LA, they become fake Rams fans, and they've always been good since they've been in LA, except for that one season where they went 8-8 or 7-9 with Jeff Fisher. They've been great, and then as soon as they turned to being great, they all started being super annoying. I went to the Rams-Cowboys playoffs game. They were annoying as fuck. And even the old school Rams fans, like the Rams fans that were Rams fans before they moved to St. Louis all those years ago, were super cool. And they told me, they were like, I fucking hate the new fan base. They're all LA fans. Super like they were.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
did you see that video too recently? It was like the first game at their new stadium. That fight broke out between just a bunch of Rams fans.
Exactly. Yeah. And then think about this too. Think about Dodgers fans.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Those are Rams fans.
Yeah, Dodger fans are one of the worst fan bases, bro, in baseball at least. Ugh. Same with the Astros. Fuck the Astros.
Panthers.
Last but not least, the Panthers.
I'm going to say respect.
See, I was thinking that, but they have recent success. They had an MVP and a Super Bowl appearance and a 15-1 season.
It's true, but I don't know where else to put them because, they're literally, I feel like they're, the nicest fan base in the league.
I just don't think their team, the Panthers, I don't think their organization is as shitty as the rest of these, but I don't know. They're close. That's one's really tough. Where were you? You said respect.
Respect, maybe decent.
Maybe decent.
Or not too shabby. I don't know. I don't really know where to put these guys. They're kind of a wild card.
Yeah, me neither. I really think that these four are definitely the bottom tier right now of fan bases.
For sure.
So which either not too shabby or decent, probably.
They're not too shabby.
Not too shabby? All right.
All right. Yeah, this is we should post this to Twitter, except before you do that, you should make another tier for Bills Mafia only.
Just Bills Mafia? All right,
yeah,
I can just do that real quick.
I just don't feel comfortable putting them in with anyone else.
Oh, wait. Oops, the colors are kind of wrong. I'll fix the colors before I post it.
Okay. They're too special to put in their own category because they break tables and they also donate to charity.
Should I put just Bills Mafia or Bills Mafia number 1?
Nah, just Bills Mafia.
Bills fucking Mafia. All right.
You know what we mean.
Oh, of course. So I keep clicking on these goddamn ads, bro. All right. Well, that's our tier list. So just to recap, some of the best, we have Bills Mafia are in a tier of their own. They are without a doubt the number one fan base. We both agreed on that. And then some of the other best in the league, we decided that the Browns, Raiders, and Saints fans are the other best of the best in the league. Meanwhile, the scum of the earth is made up by the Cowboys, Eagles, Patriots, and Steelers. And I think that is I think that's the perfect four for scum of the earth because their fan bases are kind of toxic. And our respect for staying loyal category is the Bengals, Jets, Jaguars, and Lions. So that I think we did pretty good, honestly. It's kind of hard.
It's hard, and some people on Twitter are going to have some things to say about this, but all in all, I think this is a pretty solid list.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you we're going to get some like Seahawks fans or something be like, oh, why are we no bueno? What did we do to you? Like,
well, that's exactly why they're no bueno.
I think
bitch and moan.
Eagles, I feel like the scum of the earth fans should just at least understand why they're there.
Oh, they know. All these four fan bases right here and scum of the earth, they know exactly why they're there.
Yeah, they know who they are, bro.
I mean, look at me. When we went to the Cowboys, I was like, I know where we belong.
It is what it is, man. It is.
You know, we are, but it's okay because we're winning the Super Bowl.
All right. Now let's do you want to do some predictions?
Yeah. We can do that.
It's been we kind of went over time from what I expected with considering it was such a slow week. Really, I thought this would be a shorter episode.
I know you wanted to do the college fan bases as well with the tier list. That's why I told you I was like, I think we should do the college fan bases next week.
Yeah, so if you guys like this, please leave a comment or something letting us know because I mean I had a lot of fun with this. This is something different we can do on, if there's a slow week in sports. This is one of those things we can always bust out a tier list maker. But going forward, we're probably going to try this again with college football as we get closer to college football kickoff as well, doing some SEC, maybe some of the other major conferences like Big 12 and whatnot. But in the meanwhile, stay tuned for that. And right for now, we're going to get into some of our major category predictions for next season. First, I got to do the little flipperoonie on the screen. Remove. There we go. And we are back. All right. So for our predictions, we've already kind of talked about in previous episodes. We talked about Super Bowl, divisional predictions, all that good stuff. But right now, we are going to predict who we think will be the top 5 in each major category. So, of course, there's passing. We're going to pick our top 5 passers for the upcoming season. There's rushing. There's also receiving. So Elijah and I have a similar list to an extent, but as I'm sure we get deeper into it, there will be some differences because the wide receiver is just wide open. The receiving position, I had a really tough time coming up with my top 5 for that. But rushing and passing, we may be pretty similar going forward. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. Elijah, who are your top 5 passers for the 2021 season?
So number 1, I'm going Justin Herbert.
That's interesting. As number 1.
I think I'm going with Herbert number 1 because if you look back at the past like 10 years or even 20 years, the number 1 passer is not from a team that's super successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like Jameis Winston with the Bucks, Deshaun Watson last year with the 4-12 Texans.
Yeah.
Drew Brees with the 8-8 Saints for like 3 years in a row. When they didn't have a defense and they could only just make it to the playoffs or, barely miss the playoffs. So it's normally historically been a team with a really good offense and a really bad defense. But for some reason, I just don't have huge belief year one in the Chargers defense, even though they do have guys that are really talented. For some reason, I'm just really garnering towards that old school Chargers choke belief and that they're going to be competing in late games. And so history says that the guy who wins the passing title is going to be someone that's throw late in the games, and that's going to be Justin Herbert.
That's interesting. I mean, I would not be opposed to that. I would love to see that, honestly, because I like Justin Herbert. I think he's gonna have a hell of a career.
See, that's a good argument, right? That's
yeah.
I
is.
Came at you with some numbers.
That is. I think he's gonna be close to the top 5, but he didn't make my top 5. Who else is in yours? What's the rest of your list?
So I went Dak number 2. The only reason why I didn't have him number 1 because he's the epitome of like good offense, bad defense, going to be competitive late games. That's going to be us this year. Only reason why I didn't put him number 1 is because I'm afraid of his shoulder right now. I'm afraid of how quick he's going to adapt back to the NFL game after taking all of last year off.
That's fair.
Number 3, I got Stafford. The only thing holding me back from putting him number 1 kind of is that how much Sean McVay loves to run the football. So the running game is a huge part of that Rams offense. So a lot of people think Stafford's going to put up monster numbers. I think not. I think Stafford isn't going to necessarily put up monster numbers himself, but the Rams offense is going to put up monster numbers.
Just overall. Yeah.
Overall. I think they're going to be more involved like a, by committee offense. But like they're going to be like one of those offense where they're top in the league, but none of their guys are top of the stat list.
Which is honestly, I mean, that's what you want, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, not individually, but like as a team, those are usually the more successful teams. So, yeah, I agree with that logic.
The number 4, I got Josh Allen. The Bills' defense is still kind of suspect. And
we got a lot of young guys.
He's got a fucking cannon just like last year. So I expect him to put up big numbers once again. And then I got Pat Mahomes. So Pat Mahomes, man, I almost wanted to take him off this list, but he's so damn good.
I honestly had him like on the brink. He's my bonus pick actually, but we'll get into that. You go ahead, you finish.
Yeah, he's just so damn good. I couldn't put it off him. But the Chiefs, they've been in some low-scoring games last year, and they also have a pretty decent defense. And also, too, in late games, and a lot of times, they're winning. So he doesn't have to pass. So that's going to put him back in, like, the numbers category.
That is true. That's a good point to think about.
They're just too good of a team for him to have.
Do you have any extra picks?
Yeah, so my bonus pick is going to be Jalen Hurts. And I know I've been low on Jalen Hurts in the past, but it's part of those. What made me really pick Jalen Hurts is that Deshaun Watson last year with the 4-12 team led the league in passing yards. Jalen Hurts strikes me as a guy that can put up numbers, but their team is still going to suck.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Because I think if Jalen Hurts is going to succeed on offense, they're going to succeed both rushing and passing with him. Like he will be running the ball a lot as well. So I really wouldn't see him putting up more than 250 yards a game.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of out of left field, especially for you. You've been dogging the Eagles and
I've been dogging them, but he did have like a 400-yard game last year in his first game, right?
That's true. He did. I don't have any faith in the Eagles receivers either.
But one of the reasons why I pick him is because he's going to be playing a lot of garbage time.
That's true. If you really talk about thinking about like that kind of stuff.
He's your new Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, bro.
He's a legend. He's your ultimate fantasy quarterback.
He could be, bro. He could be because he's going to get rushing touchdowns as well. And
he's going to be a garbage time king because the Eagles are going to fucking suck.
They're probably going to go like 3-14, if that.
Now, I think 4 or 5 wins for the Eagles.
Yeah, I could see a 4 and 13
5,
now, I guess. Yeah, 4 and 13 or 5 and 12.
The extra number fucks me
so up. Stupid, bro. Yeah,
I hate it just for that.
I'm not
just
used to
saying
it. And then I'm also gonna hate it even more in like 5 years whenever we're talking about like, oh, this historical stat, yada yada, but it was after the schedule change. Like, stupid. All right, so my top 5 is pretty similar to yours, except for I don't have I don't have Herbert on there at all. So for my number 1, I'm going Josh Allen. I think the Bills don't really have a solid number 1 or number 2 option at running back. You can make a case for Zach Moss because he's pretty athletic, but he wasn't very involved with their system last year. And I think they're really going to focus on Allen, getting it to Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley. They're going to work it in. So that's my number 1 pick. I agree for number 2. Yeah, I agree for number 2 with Dak as well. I think Dak arguably could be number 1. And, you mentioned garbage time, and the Cowboys don't necessarily play in a lot of garbage time, but they played a shit ton of close games, or at least in the last few years.
They play a lot of comebacks, too.
Yeah. And the last 2 years especially, they've been having crazy comebacks. So that would be huge for passing yards. That's why Dak is my number 2, if he stays healthy, of course. I have the same exact 2 and 3 as you. I have Matthew Stafford at my number 3 as well. I had picked him as my MVP in our last podcast, so I'm very high on him. I do agree with what you said about the Rams, that they may end up being like a committee-style offense. So that'll be interesting to watch how it pans out. But either way, I'm excited for Stafford and McVay.
Rams are going to be must-watch TV this year.
Yeah, definitely. It would have been even better with Cam Akers, but that sucks. Number 4, I'm surprised you didn't have him on your list because you put Herbert in there, is Aaron Rodgers. This is Aaron Rodgers' last dance, I think, with the Packers. I think him and Devontae Adams are going to put up crazy numbers. I also have Adams as my number 1 receiver, so we'll get to that in a bit. And then last but not least, my number 5 quarterback on the list is going to be Joe Burrow. And I know that may sound like a little bit of a homer pick, but the reasoning behind it is my man throws 50 passes a game. Even though they have Joe Mixon, he is an absolute workload. He threw more than any rookie quarterback in the history of the NFL in his first few games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they roll out with that same system, that same scheme, because their offensive line is so terrible they can't even run the ball. So,
no, you're right. You're right with Joe Burrow because the Bengals have such a horrible secondary that they're going to be forced to throw the ball no matter what.
Yeah, so he's going to play a ton of garbage time.
He's going to have a Matt Ryan type season for sure this year.
Yeah, which I'm excited to see Burrow do it, but I'm not excited to watch my Bengals lose all the time.
Yeah.
And then my bonus pick, if Dak Prescott is to get injured during the season, then I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes as my next man up. But honestly, I didn't even think about some of the things you brought up, how the Chiefs are usually winning, that they're always going to run the clock out. So that could play a factor in all of this, but just because he's so damn good, I got to put Mahomes up in that category. All right, let's go on to rushing.
All right, rushing, number 1, I got Dalvin Cook. And the reason why I didn't put Derrick Henry number 1 is because I was afraid to, because we've seen what 2,000-yard rushers have done the year after they put up 2,000 yards. Results have not been pretty. That's why I didn't put him number 1. And also, Dalvin Cook is a stud. I think that the Vikings are going to be better this year, and they're going to be better by running the football. Up number 2, I got Derrick Henry himself. The reason why I got him number 2 is because they're just going to feed him the rock again. I am afraid of the workload that he got this year and the year before. But, I mean, I think we've been saying that about him since he got drafted. His workload's always been crazy.
Yeah.
He's a different human being. He's kind of an animal.
He is.
So
he's a freak of nature.
And then number 3, you guys might say this is a homer pick, but I got Ezekiel Elliott. I
wouldn't disagree. I mean,
so he has been regressing the past couple seasons. Yes. But this preseason, he's looked really good. He looks newly determined. He looks a lot skinnier. He looks a lot faster. He looks a lot more athletic. So I think that this is going to spell another bounce back season from Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not going to say that this means he's going to have another rushing title, but he is going to have a 1,000-yard season this year.
I think Zeke is kind of on the fence. I think this is going to be a make or break year for him. I think he's either going to go off or going to be very disappointing. So we'll see. Because, I mean, the Cowboys still have a solid offensive line. It's not terrible. They've just been dealing with a lot of injuries. So we'll see.
Okay. And then I got Saquon Barkley. He's still one of the most talented backs in the league, no doubt. Even though before he got injured last year, he had some underwhelming performances. I mean, he's called Saquads for a reason, man. He's got all the physical tools just to be a fucking beast. So
yeah,
you can't discount him. And then number 5, I got Kamara. I think with even though with Taysom Hill, his numbers went down because they're running the ball with Taysom Hill more. I think they're going to use Kamara more this year to help out Taysom Hill with a good running game.
Okay. I could see that. The only reason I would argue against it is because Kamara is definitely a receiving running back, if that makes sense. You could stick him out in the slot and he would be just as good.
I could totally be bit in the ass with this pick for sure. I bounced in between him and CMC, but for the same reason also is like CMC's a receiving back. It's so hard to pinpoint like who's going to be the top rushing producers in today's league because like you got your obvious picks. I thought about Josh Jacobs thrown in there, but then I thought about his offensive line.
I was just about to say their line's too bad. He's great though. Like,
yeah. And the fact that they signed God, what's his name? From the Cardinals.
Chase Edmonds?
No,
he's still with the Cardinals.
Why am I blanking on him?
Kenyon Drake?
Yes, they just signed Kenyon Drake to a fat contract. And why did the Raiders sign him to a fat contract? They have Josh Jacobs. So that concerns me a little bit why I didn't pick Josh Jacobs. But my honorable mention too, who I think could potentially have a really monster year, is Antonio Gibson for the Washington football team.
Okay.
He's a stud, man. I don't know if you've seen him like actually play. He's really fucking good with the rock in his hands.
He is good. A lot of fantasy experts and everybody are pretty high on him for this upcoming season, especially with Washington's questionable quarterback situation.
If I had like a mid-round pick and I went 2 running backs, he'd be my second round pick.
Interesting. Okay, I like him for fantasy too. I like Gibson. I honestly didn't really think about him for the top 5, but I like that pick actually. All right, so for my top 5, my top 2 are the same. Just flip-flop them. I got Derrick Henry as my number 1. You bring up some good points, being concerned about the workload the last few years, but for some reason, I'm convinced that Derrick Henry is going to break 2,000 yards in 2 consecutive seasons. Again. Yeah, so I want to see that happen, and maybe it's just like my fandom of football that really wants it to happen, so that's why I'm picking him number 1. Either way, he's going to have a solid year nonetheless, but 2,000 yards is going to be the question for him. Dalvin Cook is my number 2. The Vikings are going to be running a run-heavy offense, even though they have Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Doesn't really matter. They seem to be focused on a run-first approach, and Dalvin Cook is the fucking man, bro. As long as he can stay healthy, that's been a problem for him. Number 3 is kind of a sleeper. I don't want to say he's a sleeper because he had a great year last year. People are pretty high on him, but he has a crowded running back room. Kareem Hunt is also a stud. So I'm going with Nick Chubb as my number 3 because I think he's going to take over that room this year. I think this is going to be his year to dominate. He may even be number 2 or 1. I have a lot of high hopes for Chubb this year. So
hit with Chubb is that him and Kareem could both break 1,000 yards.
Yeah, they literally could.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah,
because I could see them doing that, and then Baker just keep on because they want Baker to play off the play action when it matters most. Like they could do some crazy things with the run game with that.
Their offense is dangerous, bro.
Yeah,
it really is. They got Njoku at tight end, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. Like they're pretty stacked. I mean, they're a pretty good team. All right, and next up at my number 4 slot, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. You brought up the point of a receiving back, like similar to Kamara. I did debate this one a little bit, but the reason I'm sticking him in here is because I think the Panthers are going to have a little bit of quarterback troubles with Sam Darnold and are going to start to rely on McCaffrey a bit more after the first few games. But that one really could go either way. He could end up having just as many receiving yards as he does rushing yards based on the way he plays. So
he could go 1,000.
Yeah. And then my last but not least is going to go Saquon Barkley for basically just about every reason you mentioned. He's a beast. Saquad is his nickname for a reason. Freak of nature. And I also think that now that they have Galladay in there, they drafted Kadarius Toney. It's going to spread the field a little bit. It'll keep defenses a bit more honest, give them more opportunity to run it with Saquon. because in the past, before his injury, everybody knew they were giving it to Saquon. So I'm excited to see. I think that's a little bit more volatile than the quarterback position for passing yards. And what's even more volatile than that is the receiving. So I'm curious to see who you have for the receiving category.
Yeah, this was really tough to pick. I took some liberties with this one because there's never going to be guys that go back to back. So first guy I got right here in my list, top of the list, is DK Metcalf. Ooh. He's an athletic freak. He's too fast. I think he's completely established himself as the number one receiver in that Seahawks offense. He wasn't legitimately established last year at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, because Lockett.
So he's definitely the clear number one. Lockett's the clear number two at this point, and I think that's going to help him. Number two is Davante Adams. I mean, you saw what he did last year. He's clearly, like, overall in the past couple of years, he's the number one receiver in the league. He just is.
I think it's debatable with Hopkins. That's the only thing I got to say. I think it's close with Hopkins.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That's the argument right now between one and two is them two guys. Number three is Stephon Diggs. He led it last year. He'll probably have another monster season paired up with Josh Allen. I just don't see him. The only reason why I have him at number three is I just don't see him going back to back.
Yeah, that's fair. It's really tough to do.
And then number four, I got AJ Brown with the Titans.
Okay.
I think Julio is going to do nothing but help him. This guy is nothing but an ascending player. And so with him, with the defenses not being focused on him and starting to be paid attention a lot to Julio is going to only help him. And mind you, Julio is going to miss some games next year like he always does. Yeah. So he's still going to have those games where he's the only guy out there. Ryan Tannehill, that's going to be his man.
I really like that take.
Yeah, even though they give the rock to Henry, they still do a shit ton of play action. Guess who's going to be open? It's going to be A.J. Brown.
Well, yeah, because if play action is going to work, it's going to work with Derrick Henry in the backfield. I mean, everybody's going to bite at that. Yeah, I really like that that point you brought up because I didn't even really think about that with I'm blanking now with Julio kind of playing like a decoy, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of cornerbacks and stuff respect Julio more than they respect A.J. Brown, just based off of history. And so they might cover him a little bit tighter, but you're right. I think A.J. Brown is still the number one receiver in this offense.
I mean, look what Calvin Ridley did with Julio still in the field.
Yep. Very inconsistent, but he still went off. Like
he still had a really great year. I think A.J. Brown can take what Calvin Ridley did with Julio to the next level.
Yeah, because he's better, bigger and better.
And then last one, Lucy, you're rubbing off on me with these fucking can't speak things. I got D-Hop, number 5. And the only reason why I don't have him higher on this list is because of Kyler Murray. And I don't really trust Kyler Murray's throwing ability as much as I like his running ability.
Okay, I can respect that. So my top 5, I went back and forth for a decent amount of times because it's so hard to predict with the receiving. I think receiving is probably the hardest one out of these 3 categories to predict. So for my number 1, I'm going Davante Adams because same reason as Aaron Rodgers. It's his last dance. I really think they're just going to go off this year, put up crazy numbers. So Adams is my number 1. And also he doesn't have much competition at Green Bay for targets. So next up is Stephon Diggs. You bring up a good point. It's hard to repeat, but I have Josh Allen as my number 1 passer. So it kind of only makes sense to keep Stephon Diggs up there because he's going to be receiving most of those passes. And number 3 is DeAndre Hopkins. I debated this one a lot for the same exact reason you said is Kyler Murray. But the reason I have him at number 3 is because I don't see who else is going to get targets, on the Cardinals. Like he is by far their number 1 receiver, like not even close. And if he just takes his damn vaccine, maybe he'll stay the whole season. I don't know, but we'll see how that plays out. I don't know what the NFL situation with that is.
He wouldn't have had it.
Yeah. And then my number 4 spot is Calvin Ridley. I know we kind of just said A.J. Brown is better, and I agree. A.J. Brown is better than Calvin Ridley. But I think this year is a prime time for Ridley to have a breakout year. He's going to be the number one target in Atlanta, even though they just drafted Kyle Pitts. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic pans out. But Matt Ryan is still not a terrible quarterback. He's old. He can still get it there. So I think Calvin Ridley could have a breakout year. So he's my number 4. And number 5 is Tyreek Hill. I debated on this one a lot too, because Tyreek is one of those guys that can do jet sweeps and everything like that. He's not necessarily just a true wide receiver. He's more an athlete, do whatever you want on the field type thing. So I debated that one a lot though. But Tyreek Hill puts up crazy fantasy numbers, so I wouldn't be surprised if he put up crazy receiving numbers.
Tyreek Hill is kind of one of those guys like you can't really pinpoint as well because he relies so much on that chunk play,
like the long ass plays.
Yeah, but the other thing about that too is that he gets so many of them.
Yeah, plenty of them, bro. And he can even, well, I guess I was just talking fantasy. I was going to say he can even get like punt returns or something, but that has nothing to do with receiving category.
Receiving yards, yeah.
Yeah. And then last but not least, my bonus pick is DK Metcalf. I agree that he is the best receiver on that team. He's overtaken Tyler Lockett for the number 1 spot. And Russell Wilson loves him. Like he seems to really like throwing it his way. I think Russell Wilson was another guy that I kind of went back and forth on if I wanted to keep him in my top 5 passing yards. So I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Wilson got up there. So that's why DK made my bonus pick.
Yeah, the only reason why Russ wasn't in my top 5 for passing yards is because they let go of Brian Schottenheimer for wanting to run or for wanting to pass too much, and Pete Carroll wanted to get back to running the football a lot more. So that's why they're going to have a switch of OCs this year to have a more philosophical style of running the football again. So that's why I didn't have Russ up there. But
yeah, their running back committee is going to be
cook,
interesting to watch. Yeah, Russ, he's going to kill it no matter what.
He's going to cook. And then my honorable mention too was Justin Jefferson. I think he's going to have another really good year this year.
I debated him too. I debated putting him up there. Yeah. He's by far the number 1. I think Adam Thielen had that one crazy year, and then after that, Jefferson is taking over now.
For sure.
Well, that is that for our top 5 category predictions. We're going. I know for sure we're going to make a graphic of these and post them on Instagram, Twitter, comparing me and Elijah's picks. I know our quarterback picks were almost exactly the same, but our running back and receivers were a little bit different. They varied there. So we'll be putting these out on Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you guys check all that out. And if there's ever anything like this we can do again, I'm sure we could probably do this even for other sports if we want to talk about like who's going to be the points leader, stuff like that for basketball. We could do whatever with it, but for now, that's our predictions for 2021. I'm excited, dude. I can't wait for football.
Oh my God. You're telling me.
All right. Last but not least, it's time for Love It or Loathe It. If you guys don't know, I explain this basically every time. So if you don't know, you should by now. Shame on you. But Love It or Loathe It. This is how we end every episode. We're going to just give each other super rapid fire topics within the sports news lately. And if we love it, we're going to stop, talk about it for a little bit. If we loathe it, we're just going to move on. And that is that. So you want to take the first batch or me?
Yeah, I'll take the first batch.
All right, bet. Let's go. All right. So first up, we got an NBA reporter, Jackie McMullen, retires from ESPN.
I love this. Jackie McMullen's kind of been around since me and you have been paying attention to sports. The fact that she's gone is probably going to be huge. So good for her. She's one of the few sports people that haven't been consistently pissing people off. So yeah, she's great.
All right. Next up, the NCAA is investigating Nebraska football head coach Scott Frost for COVID violations last season.
I'm going to go ahead and load this, but kind of wild that he's probably going to get punished for it.
Yeah, it is a messy situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we got one of Deshaun Watson's accusers, speaking of messy situations, is being investigated for extortion.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, like, love it, just so I can talk about it for a second. This Deshaun Watson situation is completely wild.
It's just fucked.
Like, I know me and you decided to stop talking about it for a little bit just because it's like, who knows what the fuck is going on? It keeps on getting more and more wild, and we don't know who or what to believe on both sides for both reasons. But what's even more wild about this is that the FBI is getting in on this investigation because it's because they're like investigating if one of the accusers are extorting Watson. So like there's so many reasons to believe the accusers, and then there's like almost just as many to believe Watson. It's just like
it's one of those messy situations where you never want to discredit an accuser by any means, but you also don't want to instantly just throw somebody in jail because of, some nasty words.
It puts us as podcasters in tough situation. I will say that, to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Because it is one of those things that's very relevant in the media. A lot of people want to know what's going on with Watson, but it is truly a messy situation.
For many reasons on both sides. It's like, what's the right call? We don't know. But all I have to say is it's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. If he's going to suit up this year, that's going to be even crazier, but we'll see. Next up, we got Kevin Durant and Draymond Green both blame Steve Kerr and general manager Bob Myers for KD's departure from the Bay.
I'll just go ahead and load this. Who knows why this is coming out now? Probably just to stir up reasons. Draymond just loves drama.
Draymond does love drama. All right. And next up, I like this one a lot. I love watching this interview. Andy Dalton said that Justin Fields is going to have a great career, but right now it's my time.
I love this. Get your bag, Andy.
Yes, sir, bro.
Yeah, get your 2 weeks of starting money, and then let Justin Fields have the great career that he's going to go on to have.
This is Andy's last chance. If he wants a career, it's his last. Well, he can be a backup for the rest of his life if that's what he wants, but he has to go out here and kill it if he wants a starting job in the NFL. Somebody will pick him up. He only has a 1-year contract.
Justin Fields is just he's going to breathe on his neck too much.
I mean, I agree. I think Justin Fields is the right move for the Browns. But I mean, for Andy Dalton in particular, like he has to have that mindset. You know what I mean? If he admits in any way that Justin Fields is like better than him, he's defeated already,
Yeah.
And he seems to be a very positive role model too to Justin. Like they've had a great relationship so far from what I've seen in camp.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was just a funny headline to see because especially after all this week of all the people saying like, oh, Justin Fields is going to be starter week 1 no matter what, which by the way, we've already talked about. No matter what, even if they want to put in Justin Fields as the starter week 1, they're facing the Rams. It's going to be
Andy's going to start. Yeah, Andy's going to start.
Rams on primetime, you really put your rookie quarterback as his first start.
They're probably going to lose either way, so.
Exactly. It would only do bad things to start Justin Fields week 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so your turn. A's pitcher Chris Bassett takes 100-mile-an-hour line drive to the face. And then at the same time this happened, Nick Castellanos also had a homer.
So I both love and loathe it. I loathe the fact that Bassett got hit by a fucking line drive because, I mean, nobody wants to see that. That is scary to see. Probably one of the worst parts of baseball, really, whenever players get hit by a line drive and stuff like that. But I love the fact that Nick Castellanos homered again. I don't understand what it is, bro. If Nick Castellanos homers, grab your kids, grab your wife, get out of there, bro. You got to hide. I don't know what could happen. But every time Castellanos has a home run, something unfortunate is going on. So that shit's just hilarious.
And a deep drive left.
Yeah, exactly. It all started with that.
Okay, this one blows my mind right here. 35 years ago today, Bills quarterback Jim Kelly signs a $1.5 million a year contract that made him the highest paid player in the NFL at the time.
I love this one just because of how crazy it is to think about. Like, 1.5 million was the highest paid player in the NFL. And it was only 35 years ago. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like 35 years really isn't that much. Well, I guess in the grand scheme of things, since the AFL merger and everything, in that sense, it makes sense. But like financially, that's crazy to think about. That's
crazy. Well, now that quarterbacks are commanding 35, 40 million a year, just because they're one of the 10 best.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's a lot different than 1.5 million just because, you're one of the best.
No.
Okay. And then Tyler Gilbert becomes fourth player in MLB history to record a no-hitter on their MLB debut.
I love this one. I know we've had a lot of no-hitters this year. It seems to be the year of no-hitters for some reason, but this one's a little bit different. He had a few appearances as a relief pitcher, so it's not as crazy. It wasn't his first time really being in the MLB, but it was his first time starting as a pitcher. He threw all 9 innings, no-hitter. That's fucking impressive. So good for him. There was a video of his dad in the stands, like breaking down in tears when it happened.
Freaking out.
It's so wholesome, bro. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Migos will be the first guest pickers this year on ESPN's College Game Day.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of love it's this time. I love this one because I think it's going to be not because I love Migos in particular, but because I cannot wait to see the dynamic of Lee Corso and Migos together. Like, what the fuck is that going to be, bro? I don't even know.
I love this too for the same reasons you do. Also, I think this pretty much confirms that Georgia's probably going to be this year's first College Game Day if Migos are picking.
No, actually, it's like a FCS game.
What?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta though. I forgot who it is.
Oh, okay. As long as it's in Atlanta, that's what Migos are all about.
Oh, damn, I can't think about it. Yeah, I forgot who's playing, but it's in Atlanta, and then the next week after that is shit, I'm blanking on my schedule. But the first one is not really a big game because it's before any of like the major teams actually play. It's on August 28th, and then the big teams play in September.
Gotcha. All right.
But it is in Atlanta, yeah.
Last but not least, we got Desmond Baines shot 69% from deep throughout the NBA Summer League.
Nice. That's all I got to say.
That's our show.
That's our show. There we go. Nice. I love it. I only added that, TCU grads here, and one TCU grad, soon to be TCU grad. So Desmond Baines killing it in the Summer League right now. I can't wait to see where he goes.
Also, past NBA Rookie of the Year better of Desmond Baines.
Yeah, I forgot about that, bro. That would have been a banger.
Well, it was only $10, so.
Yeah, say la vie. All right, well, that is this week's episode. We almost broke 2 hours, and for that reason, we've mentioned it in the past, but we are soon switching over to a twice-a-week format once football season really gets underway, because I think it just makes more sense. It's going to be more pleasurable to watch for you guys, because I know it's kind of a lot to scroll through 2 hours really to find exactly what you want to hear and whatnot. So that's going to be what we do going forward. Stay tuned on our Twitter and all that for any official announcements. But for now, thank you guys for listening. This was a fun show, slow week, but we turned it into something, I liked it. All right. We'll see you guys same time, same place next week.